G'day there. Now, if you're like me, you'll be spending hours looking away. If you're like me, you'll be spending hours with your research, combing through heaps of databases and search engines to try and find literature, ending up with 300 results that you might have to go through and then running into paywalls, etc. Today I'm going to talk about SciSpace, and it's one of my favourite tools that I've been using probably since day one with my research. It just keeps getting better and better. And today what we're going to do is run through a couple of the new features that SciSpace have introduced recently to make our lives easier when it comes to doing our research. So stick around and watch to the end, and we'll go through, and there'll be some codes at the end where you can get a discount as well on your SciSpace subscriptions. Okay, now as it often takes a fair while for AIs to go through and do their work, and in the interest of saving a bit of time, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up a search that I did recently, and this is on community leadership in Australia. And the question that I asked here somewhere is, tell me about the implementation of community leadership programs in Australia. And it's gone through here and it's searched all the information that it can on the community leadership. It's merged and re-ranked all its search results, and then it's provided a summary for me. Now, from the SciSpace database, you can see it's found 100 papers in full text search, 20 papers from Google Scholar, so it's gone out there and looked at that too. And it's also found other papers, 80 unique papers as well. It's created a TLDR here, but what I want to take you to first, before we have a look at that, is its output and its insight. So if we go over here, it's loading the file and it's giving me that TLDR. The combined research results are here. Now, these are all listed by terms in terms of their relevance, which is a really fantastic feature because it can save you going right through a couple of hundred papers or whatever to find out which ones are relevant and why. And so not only is it giving you a relevant score, in this case it's 100 out of 100, but it's also giving me a tag and saying that it's highly relevant and the reason why it's highly relevant. So that's very useful. It provides the abstract here and a TLDR, but you can also add more columns in this table. So if we click here to add more columns, we could go down and say, oh, let's have a look at the methods used. And it's going to now go and fix the methodology from each of those papers. And it'll scan that now. Your data's brewing. I like that. This is why I'm showing you one that I did earlier, but I hadn't added this column purposely to provide a demonstration of how long it takes. So we'll just let that run for a moment. And what else can I tell you in the meantime? Look, it's found it now. That's excellent. So methodology, here it is for each of those papers, and it goes right through and gives you all the information. Right, so that'll tell you that, which is a pretty important thing to make sure that the methodology has been sound. Now, if we go back here to the outputs, we can go back to the insights, and it gives me a TLDR on the entire search. So it's going through there in an introduction, and then it's providing the models and the theoretical frameworks. As you go through, you will notice the numbers here, which are very similar to what you might get in Notebook LM and other sorts of programs as well. But if you hover over them, it will give you the page, and you can actually go straight to that as well, should you choose to do. But it'll give you a little bit of an idea about the base findings. Now, this one's come from Google Scholar. Let's have a click on that and see where it goes. There you go. Accept all the cookies. It's still taking us straight to that particular page. So we'll go back here, and there you have it in terms of the search strategy there and what it's done here and where it's gone, what the target groups are, core implementation strategies, etc. We go down here, evaluation approaches, reported outcomes, other information, then a list of all the references. Make sure that the references are correct before you go citing anything. And of course, it goes without saying that you don't copy and paste anything from here. From an ethical perspective, this becomes a summary that you can use to add to your own work and make sure that it's in an appropriate format that suits your institution's requirements. Just before we go on with our next demonstration of the features of SciSpace, I'll just draw your attention to the range of features that SciSpace actually offers. I wonder how long it'll be before they run out of room on this front page. One of them here, this website, I recently saw Andy Stapleton do a demo of that on his YouTube channel, which I'd highly recommend. And it was just absolutely mind-blowing, the quality of the website that came out. It's certainly quite a few things there to have a look through and explore. So for the next task, what we're going to do is have a look at how you can manipulate the columns on SciSpace while a lengthy job is doing its work. So I'm just going to paste this in here, and I hope it gives enough of a lengthy job to allow us to do it and give some planning available. So we'll just click it in and see how we go here. And so it's off and running. So in here, I'm just going to tick all of the above and give it a fair bit of work to do. And now it's executing the plan. Going to do a comprehensive deep dive analysis, and it's creating the plan now, which will shift over to here, and then we'll get the opportunity to approve it before it rushes off and collects the data. So it's had a look through the academic literature, and now it's searching government and specialised program sources, as you can see here. I will be pausing it from time to time because I don't want to bore you by having to sit there or waiting and watching a blank screen, and I'll just pull it back up again as it reveals information. Okay, now it's bringing back the search results summary. It's conducting a deep research analysis. So now we've moved to the outputs area, and we can see that it's got a lot of information here on the papers that it's already collected. And the three columns that it's got are the papers, the abstract and the TLDR. But there's no need to wait until the rest of the research has been completed. We can simply add the columns here and have another look at what's going on. So we might want to pull up the methods, is always useful. And then it's getting those now. Pull those in straight away. Let's have a look here. Yes, there's our methods. And we'll add another column and look at the findings. Results. So it's pulling those in as well. And now we've got a decent set of information that we can scan through. We'll just let that tick away. It's got 51 papers at the moment to go through. The ones here will get the PDF. That one is available. That one will have to come through your library key. So the agent is still running. It's writing a file, the comprehensive report. I can stop the agent at any time just by clicking the button here and keeping it going. You can look here back at its live activity. It's done that. Insights extraction, deep analysis, go back to the outputs. And here we go with our comprehensive analysis that it has prepared for us based on that entire query. So that's been a pretty remarkable sort of a process there. By putting in that singular item, it's generated all of that interesting information in terms of a TLDR, which would be very interesting for use within a paper, not in a copy and paste format, of course. So the relevance of the various papers can be found by just going through the all files here, and you'll see one here is called the combined search results, and if we click onto that one, you'll see that it's now got the relevance column in there showing the relevance and the tag and the reasoning for each one of those papers, and they're actually sorted in the order of their particular relevance. So as you can see, it does a very comprehensive job of extracting the summary of all the papers and also providing the information about all the papers that it's looked at as well, where you can add or subtract columns and gain as much information through that table as you wish. The next feature to show you is being able to gain access to PDFs that might ordinarily be behind a paywall. Now the situation there is, and it's been available in Zotero for quite some time, where you put in your proxy for your university, but it hasn't been available here in SciSpace, but now it is. So you can use your library key or lib key, whatever it is, and if you go down and look through the listings here where it's got Get PDF, if it just shows you a PDF there like that, then you'll be able to get that directly from SciSpace. There's not a problem there. However, if you've got a link here where it's got a little arrow next to it, you'll have to download that, and it says download from a library and manage. And then if you click on that, it'll pop up asking you for your institution, and it will take you there and let you sign in, and then you'll get your library key, and then that will be recorded against your profile, and you will be able to download any of the documents that your library has subscriptions to and access to. I won't bother doing mine because I'm between universities at the moment, so I don't have any access here. So we'll close that, but that's what you can do with the library key, and it's certainly a worthwhile addition to SciSpace. The next feature we've got here is the ability to interact with Google Drive. Now, that is great, very useful. You can do it with Notebook LM, of course, but you can only upload one file at a time, and you haven't actually got the resources to do the academic search with it. So we're going to click this button here, the plus one, and go add from Google Drive. It's going to ask me to sign in, and which is fine. Continue. And that will only ask you that once, because once the access has been given, then that's fine. Now we're going to go down to Google Drive. I'll just pick that, and that'll do. And select those and pull those in. So it's now bringing in those files. Apparently you can only bring in up to 10, which is, as I say, better than Notebook LM because you can only bring in one and it won't read zip files at this stage. Hopefully that might be the case in the future, and perhaps it might be the case here with SciSpace too, because sometimes it's very useful to be able to bring in an entire directory of PDFs that you want to interpret. So she's a bit slow at the moment here, but what we'll do is type here, so summarise all of these files and find the common ground, and then complete a search to find similar papers. So we'll wait until that's done. Let's have a look. Are they all up there? Yes, they are. And let's see how that goes. I've never done one like this before, so I don't know. You're watching a pioneer experiment in real time. Here we go. It's analysing the files. 5 PDFs. That's excellent. Pleased with that. Looking for the themes and the common grounds, which is good. Keywords. Righto, it's got some references. Have a look over here at the outputs. Analysis of the provided paper. It's done Argent, Archibald. Yes, good. Good. Excellent. I'm impressed. Go back. So this looks like it's the summary for the lot of them. Now, our search was to, the agent is still running. Now, let me create a synthesis document and then conduct a search for similar papers. So it is writing the file, synthesis of common ground, and then it's, as you can see, its agent is running, and it's then going to go out, it would appear, and search for similar papers, which will be really useful because it's providing the opportunity to go and get similar results, which can support the research that you've got already. Very useful for a lit review. So I'll just let that run and then we'll come back when it's completed. Okay, I must say I am very impressed with this. It has gone right through. It has extracted all the common thematic aspects of each of those papers. It has gone through and run a search on all of the papers and all similar papers. And then it has come up with all of these files and generated a final report. Now let's have a look at the final report. I'll just close this screen here. There, give us a bit more room. and see if we can get this one over a bit. No, we can't. Anyway, that's all right. Change this. There. So here it has done a comprehensive analysis and literature report providing an executive summary. It looks at the original papers and summarise all those and their key findings. And that's the 5 of them that we put in. Then it's looked at the common ground analysis of each of those papers. And then it's gone out and searched and it's found the similar papers from the literature search. And here it's taken the top 20 most relevant papers and it's organised it by theme, foundational theories and models. More papers, it's given the references and hot links to the DOIs. Very handy. Stakeholder engagement research, networks and bridging organisations, mandated networks, sectoral recommendations for further research. So it's giving you your gap analysis and then providing a conclusion, and it's giving your appendices about what it actually did. Now, those are all available too in these all files that you can actually go through and have a look at those. Just having a look here to see if there's a combined one. Yeah, combined search results. It should give us our relevance scores there. Yes, it has done too. So our relevance scores on each of those papers are all listed. That's amazing. I'm quite blown away by all that. I certainly don't think Notebook LM would give you that sort of information. And to me, as I work through each of these improvements that SciSpace has offered, that is certainly the standout. So let's have a look at what's next. And the last thing that we're going to have a look at here in SciSpace is the citation tool, which will be available in any reference that comes up. And you can see it here right next to the Get PDF button, a big button you can't miss. You simply click on that. It will give you the citation style that you're particularly using for your institution. It gives you the 4 popular styles there at the top. And then underneath that, it's got a whole heap of other styles that you can pick from if your institution uses those. So it's giving you your bibliography here on the top one, and then on the bottom one, the citation. Copy either of those, and you can open them in the citation generator tool. Now, these are useful for just copying and pasting into a document where you want to reference quickly. However, when writing documents, I probably tend to use Zotero to insert the citations within the body of the text, because then it's going to produce a bibliography for me at the very end of the document, so I don't have to worry about missing any. It depends on the style that you want, and so use it that way. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this workthrough of SciSpace. SciSpace haven't sponsored me in any way to do this. I really enjoyed the program. I find it useful and I use it in all my research. But I do have some discount codes at the bottom, 40% off for an annual subscription and 20% off for a monthly one. And by all means, take advantage of those. Have a play with SciSpace. They do have a free tier. You can get a little bit of a play with it in the first instance. And I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.